Everything is about negotiations, and that's also your best way, your best entry into the real estate with no credit and no money. Guys, my first year I made $115,000 when I started with absolutely no experience. My first deal, I was actually driving Uber and Lyft full time and doing wholesaling, calling these homeowners from my car. How can you get started in real estate in the US if you don't have good credit and you don't have income? Guys, one of the best strategies to start with is a strategy called real estate wholesaling. My name is Mamadou Diallo. If you're new into this channel, full-time real estate developer, guys. But I didn't start as a real estate developer. I actually started as a wholesaler, then went from wholesaling to doing the fix and flips, the buy and holds, and then I just transitioned into real estate new development. So guys, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out when I put out new content to help you in your real estate journey here in the US. Guys, let's dive into this, right? So let's say you were sitting there as an immigrant living in the US. You want to get into real estate, but you don't know where to start, but you also maybe don't have great credit and you don't have income at all, or you have very little income. Well, one of the best strategies is to start with the strategy called real estate wholesaling, which is exactly how I started. The strategy is you going off market. The data is public here in the US. You can use sites like auction.com, preforeclosures.com. You can go on Zillow. So the data in the US, literally everybody that owns a home, their data by law is public. You can find distressed homeowners. For example, like the ones that I started with is homeowners going through foreclosure, right? We call them pre-foreclosure homeowners. So they basically haven't paid their mortgage for 3 months, 6 months, a year, and the lender is looking to foreclose. So the bank that they owe money to is looking to take the property. So that process of the bank foreclosing on that homeowner is called a pre-foreclosure process. So we reach out to these homeowners before the bank forecloses on the property, and then we're able to help them find a solution, and in exchange we get that property under contract, and then we're able to take that contract and just sell it for cash, make a $15,000 fee, make a $20,000 fee, sometimes $100,000 depending how you negotiate it. That's the strategy in a nutshell, guys. Why pre-foreclosures? Because these homeowners are already in distress. They have a problem you can solve before you even call them. Even the numbers are free, guys. You can go on truepeoplesearch.com and literally find the numbers. So 123 Main Street, you see it on auction.com, is going to be auctioned, let's say in the next 4 weeks. You go take that address, you put it on truepeoplesearch.com. It will literally provide you the homeowner's number. If you cannot get hold of the homeowner, it's going to give you their family members' numbers. Yes. There is no such thing as privacy in the US, which is obviously good for business owners because you need data in order to have a business, right? So that strategy, why don't you need credit and why don't you need money? Because you are not the one buying the property. All you're doing is an acquisition strategy, right? You're calling these homeowners, you're finding out what the problem is, why haven't they paid their mortgage, and then you're gonna find a solution for them, and those solutions have a whole playlist on pre-foreclosures alone, and I'm telling you exactly what those solutions are. And then if you guys come to an agreement, you put them under contract at a discounted price, and you find what we call a cash buyer. What is a cash buyer? A cash buyer is somebody who their full-time job is either one, they're looking for beat-up homes, they renovate them, put them back on the market and sell it for a profit. Two, they're looking for homes, they can come in, do a little bit of renovation, and then keep them as buy and holds in their rental portfolio. Guess what a cash buyer don't have time for? A cash buyer is too busy managing projects, is too busy going to Home Depot buying material. What they don't have time for is what you have time for, which is calling the homeowner, following up, sending the text messages, negotiating, putting it under contract, opening what we call escrow, and then going through that lengthy process in order to put the seller under contract. The fix and flipper, that we call it, somebody that renovate homes and put them back on the market and sell it for a profit, is called the fix and flipper. He doesn't have time for it oftentimes. That's where you step in. You can be a solution to him by you, because you have the time. You don't have the money, but you have the time. You can find these homeowners, negotiate with them, take that contract, contract. Here in the US, if you put a property under contract on the price that you and the homeowner agreed upon, that gives you what is called an equitable right on that contract for an amount of, on average, 35 days. So you have about 35 days to execute on that contract to close on the property. But remember, you're not the one buying the property. You're not the one closing on the property. And no, in most states up to now, you still don't need a license to do this. In certain states, you might need a license, but guess what? You can even work with somebody who has a license. You don't have to have it yourself. You can just have somebody you've built a relationship with that already have a license and tell them, hey, I'm calling distressed homeowners all day long. I'm negotiating these properties under contract. If you're willing to do a joint venture with me so I can close because you have the license, well, guess what? We can maybe do a 70-30 split. We can do an 80-20 split. We can do a 90% 10% split. Remember, guys, the US is ran by salespeople. Everything is negotiable. Everything is about negotiations. And that's also your best way, your best entry into the real estate with no credit and no money. Guys, my first year, I made $115,000 when I started with absolutely no experience. My first deal, I was actually driving Uber and Lyft full time and doing wholesaling, calling these homeowners from my car. I would drive around, find these homes. There is a way you can do that with an application called LandGlide. I'll find these addresses, upload it on my phone, and then if I drop my customers, I'll call from the car. And that's how I found my first pre-foreclosure deal, and I assigned it. So guys, when you sell this contract, it's called an assignment. It's called assigning your rights to the contract. So my first deal was a $68,000 check, guys. And at my 9 to 5 at the time, I was making what, 45,000 euros. I was working for a Belgian government company, which is the railway, the high-speed trains in Belgium. So guys, this is a legit business. It's called real estate wholesaling. I've made a whole playlist on my YouTube channel. You should absolutely check it out. I'll show you exactly how you can find the data. I'll show you exactly how you communicate with the sellers. I even have calls on this channel. You can hear me talking to these pre-foreclosure sellers. I have a private community also where I teach students how to not only underwrite these properties, but how to negotiate with the sellers, hold their hands, give them my company's credibility in order to be able to close these deals with the sellers. You can do it in all 50 states. If you're sitting there and you're an aspiring future fix and flipper, maybe future real estate developer, or you just want to do buy and holds, but for right now, you don't have capital and you don't have good credit, your best bet is to start with real estate wholesaling so that you understand real estate from A to Z, because you will be the one who's finding these homeowners, negotiate with them directly. Once you have control of that contract, guys, you can decide what to do with it. So you build your capital by signing these contracts, but you're also learning the whole real estate flow. And then when you're ready to take down properties yourself, guess what? You've built the experience. You know how to find great deals. The hardest part in real estate, guys, it is not to find financing for the deals. It is to find great deals. 99.9% of people don't know how to find great deals. That's the reason why they don't do real estate, or that's the reason why typically when they try it, they go buy the wrong property because they don't know. And the art of real estate wholesaling will teach you exactly how to find great deals at discounted prices. And then you take the contract, you either wholesale it, make a fee, or you keep the property, fix and flip it yourself, renovate it, and then rent it yourself if you already have the capital. But if you don't have the capital, this is a good way to build within 12 months $100,000 cash in your bank account, and then you start taking down properties yourself, and then you choose your strategy from there, guys. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Make sure you smash that like button, leave a comment below, and definitely check out my playlist on creative finance, on wholesaling, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Boom, boom, boom.